Welcome back to Strength Side. Today we're going to talk about some of the most high bang for your buck fitness equipment products that will allow you to train efficiently and not break the bank.
So maybe you don't have time to get to the gym, or you're on a budget, or you just want to be a fitness minimalist and be able to train from anywhere. Here's some equipment that will be worth your time and money.
So number one, we have the gymnastics rings, and we actually put them at number one for a reason. This has so much utility. It is literally a full gym. You just need to find somewhere that you can hang them from.
The rings are great because it's like having a multi-tool that you could just fit in your backpack at all times. You can do basically any type of exercise.
And they're highly scalable. What we mean by that is if you're a beginner, then you can just do basic push-ups, planks, pull-ups on the rings. As you get into more intermediate, advanced levels, you're gonna be on top of the rings doing things like muscle-ups or other fancy cool moves.
Fancy cool.
Now, a lot of people make massive gains with the gymnastics rings because of the instability. Because these things are making you stabilize while doing a strength motion, you see this really unique type of strength start taking hold in your body.
And from personal experience, this instability that Josh talks about is really important for me with my shoulder health. It actually allowed me to keep working on strength while I was making my shoulder more stable and healthier.
So if I had to give a downside or a negative to gymnastics rings, it's really just, do you have a spot to hang them from? If you're not lucky enough to have some type of beam or deck that you can hang them off at home, usually you can find a nice tree in a local park where you can go and do your training session outside and also be getting some sun on your skin and all the goodness that comes with being outside. The big question we get asked a lot, plastic or wood?
The wood is definitely higher quality, but it's a bit more expensive. So if you're on a budget, go with the plastic. And one trick you can use with the plastic, put athletic tape around it and it'll actually give you better grip.
So next up we have parallettes. Now, right off the bat, I want to say these won't have as much utility as the gymnastics rings, but they're still a great tool, mainly for push-ups, L-sits, and I really like them for balancing on.
Now, parallettes come in all kinds of sizes. We got these little tiny guys, medium, and then you got the big ones. We really like these little ones because you just toss them in a backpack, but the advantage of having bigger ones is they get you up off the ground a little further.
Which can be really beneficial if you're trying to improve your push-ups because you're gonna get a lot more range of motion for the chest, and that's gonna be better for your flexibility and for your strength gains.
A lot of the basic exercises that you would do on the parallettes, you could also do them on the ground, but the advantage is you don't have to flex your wrist as much when you're grabbing onto something, so it can really save your wrists if you're new to calisthenics.
If you start getting more and more into calisthenics and wanna do higher level skills like planches, handstands, and everything else that comes in between those, then these are gonna be one of your go-to training tools. Next up, we have a doorway pull-up bar. And this is something that I really think everyone should have in their house. Before we talk about doing pull-ups, it's really healthy for everyone to be hanging daily. So good for the shoulders, the spine, really just your whole body.
And the nice thing about having the door frame pull-up bar is it doesn't have to be a permanent fixture in your home. Just hang it up when you need it and then toss it in a closet.
I think that pull-ups are one of the most underutilized exercises that everyone could be doing to really just increasing their back and overall total body strength. And when you have it at home in your doorway, there's just no excuses. You can do a couple pull-ups every time you walk through that door.
Yeah, and the nice thing about having it in your home is even if you can't do a full pull-up right now, it's super easy. You just grab a chair, you have your feet on it, and you get a little bit of assistance, so you can start working on pull-ups right now.
You can also attach a band and do assisted pull-ups if you're trying to work on getting your first pull-up.
This is actually a really good one that you can combine with rings, so then you can do your pull-ups on the bar and then do dips or push-ups hanging your rings from that bar so you can get a full body workout.
Complete workout for your upper body right there. Now, another variation of this that you can use that is going to require more installation is a hangboard or a fingerboard, which is something that a lot of climbers use that we both have in our house.
Now, even if you're not a climber, the hangboard can be nice because on most of them, they've got big old holds on the top that are called jugs that you can basically just hold on to really easily.
So you can hang, do pull-ups all the same as your doorway pull-up bar, but this is just gonna be a permanent fixture in your house. So those first 3 products were pretty much calisthenics based. These next 2 are about adding some weight in a more minimalist way without needing a whole gym setup. First up, we have the weight vest. What I love about a weight vest is you can pretty much add it to any exercise and it's gonna make it a little bit harder.
Yeah, and the big advantage to a weight vest is it doesn't really get in the way. It's so close to your body that you can really do any exercise and not have to change your setup.
You also don't need a ton of weight. You'd be surprised at how much adding just 20 pounds to your body weight will change your pull-ups, your push-ups, your squats. It's gonna make everything extremely harder and you're just gonna make more gains because of it.
So I think this is a 50-pound weight vest. That's probably the most you're gonna need.
Yeah, and it's maybe a little bit over $100 for a cheaper version.
Now, another way that you can add weight to your calisthenics movements is by using one of these belts that you can attach weight to your waist with.
This works great if you happen to have dumbbell, a weight plate, or even a kettlebell laying around your house. You grab one of these and you're weighting your pull-ups or your dips or your push-ups.
Overall, the weight vest can be used for more movements, but this is really nice because you could potentially add more and more weight over time. So if you're getting up above that 50-pound marker with the weight vest, you're gonna really want one of these.
So next we have the kettlebell. What we love about kettlebells is you can do a lot of stuff with them. You can squat, you can deadlift, you can do hip hinge swings, you can press them overhead, you can do clean and press, you can do Turkish get-ups. There's literally so many things that you can tackle with even just one kettlebell.
And if you're using that weight belt we just talked about, perfect little hole right here for it. So kettlebells are just literally weight, but there's actually a skill component to using them. So it can be quite fun to actually learn new movements with the kettlebell, and ultimately they can make you really strong because they're very dynamic.
Once again, like the gymnastics rings, this is kind of like a complete gym right here. You can just work your full body. As a recommendation, if you're on a budget and you are a male of average strength, going with something like a 35-pound kettlebell will allow you to do a lot of different things with it. You don't want to go too heavy to where like you could only pick it up off the ground and do deadlifts, but you can't press it over your head. So try to find that weight where you can do everything. And then once you get a lot of gains from that, then maybe you could upgrade to a heavier weight. Next, we have rubber bands. This is maybe one of the most inexpensive things on the list. And for us, one of the best uses of a resistance band is actually for shoulder health, mobility, and strength.
I feel like bands often get overlooked as a tool because they get used in fitness classes and stuff, and maybe they're seen as gimmicky. But there's a lot of things that you can do with a band that you can't do with a weight. A band gives you the option to pull from any direction, so you can attach it high, you can attach it low, whereas when you're only using weights, you only get gravity.
Now, any band really works, but we really like the rubber band style because it's really easy to attach to any type of post. And like we mentioned earlier, bands are great for using assistance in some calisthenics skills such as pull-ups. Another really inexpensive product is the jump rope. Now, we don't have to say too much about jump ropes, you know what it is, but this is a great tool for cardio, conditioning, and working your calves in a more dynamic way. Being able to hop off the ground, very functional, very useful in becoming more athletic.
Yeah, I think a lot of us who work out regularly forget that we can also be athletic when we really get into lifting weights and calisthenics and stuff. So having a jump rope can kind of keep that athleticism fresh in your body.
What's interesting, I think some people think jump rope is a lot of impact on your body if maybe you have bad knees or ankles or hips or whatever, but I think jump rope actually is less impactful than going out for a jog on the street. It's a good tool to get your heart rate up for a warm-up or add in a little bit of extra cardio to your session. And we have the slant board. Now, this is another one with not a wide spectrum of utility, but the reason why we have this on the list is because modern day shoes has made everyone's calves tight. So that kind of weird. Everyone's calves tight.
I liked it though. Yeah, so we all have stiff ankles. So the slant board's nice because we can use it with our feet facing down. So it actually gives our ankles some assistance so we can actually train with our knees moving forward if you have stiff ankles. Or flip it around, feet facing up. Now you're just stretching your calves, your ankles. So overcoming some of the tightness that you have from shoes.
Great tool to stretch with, great tool to do squats with. Now this is a really inexpensive slant board that I got like 5 years ago, I think. This must have cost maybe $40, $50. I think with the popularization of knees over toes guy, I've seen a lot of people charging a lot of money for these, but you don't really need anything fancy. All you need is something that is on a slant. We're gonna wrap this list up with giving some miscellaneous items that aren't completely necessary. These are more so nice to haves.
If you want to take your training seriously, having a tripod so you can record yourself is quite important, because I don't know how many times this happened to you, but I'll record myself doing something and it'll look way different than I thought it did. So my form is all messed up.
It's a great technique tool. A speaker. This can make your workout session a lot more fun, whether you're training at home or you're going to your local park. Adding some music in, it's a bit more motivating, a bit more enjoyable.
Keeping a training journal can keep you on track with your workouts. You can remember what you did last time or maybe even 3 months ago.
So one of the biggest mistakes you can make as a beginner is just not keeping track of what you're actually doing, because progress is the key to making gains. We also have a simple timer. This can be nice to start tracking your rest times, or maybe if you're doing some type of isometric hold, this helps you time that.
And it also keeps you away from staring at your phone.
Last thing I want to add to the list is a bicycle. Now, I know bicycles can be quite expensive, but you can usually find pretty inexpensive ones on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, somebody that just wants to get rid of it. And this really has two utilities. Number one, riding a bicycle, good cardiovascular exercise, good exercise in general. But number two, your bicycle can take you to the park, or it can take you across town to that tree that you can hang your rings from. Now, you don't need all of these products, but maybe there's a couple that interest you, and combining 2 or 3 of these might allow you to really train your full body really effectively and have some fun outside of the gym.
If you check the description box, we'll link to inexpensive examples of each of these products.
I want to be clear, these aren't the ones that we're necessarily recommending. We're just going to give you an idea, and you might want to research on your own. There might be a better product that fits your needs better, and to be honest, some of these we probably haven't even used ourselves, so I can't promise anything about the quality.
So I'm interested, is there anything that you would have added to this list?
And is there anything that really caught your eye that you are really excited to maybe try out? Comment below and let us know. We'll see you in the next one.